Hello everyone. So welcome back to the channel. So uh, from today's video, I'm going to describe you the process of modeling a guitar on SolidWorks. So this is the model that I've used. This is a Yamaha C70 model. I have this model at home, so that's what makes it easier for me to like model it more accurately with the same dimensions, since there is no platform or there's no source we can use to get the dimensions. I used some measuring instruments to get approximate values of the curves and dimensions. So in your case, if you don't have one at home, you can just see what I do and then randomly put some values and do your design. So initially, this part is called the box of guitar. So we'll initially model that. So what you can do is like, in this case, forget this. So you have this shape, right? This shape, the two S shapes. So you can just use a ruler and ruler, whatever the measuring instrument, and assume a center line like this, and measure some points to the curve. So what I have done is, yeah, as you can see, there are several points here. 1, 2, 3, and likewise. So from the guitar, I have made a center line and then measured some points from that using a ruler, the distance, and then I've added points using this point feature, and then the dimensions were given that was measured. So once that is done, you can use this spline tool and click on the points that you created, and that will give you the shape, and then you can mirror that into this side, and then you'll get this, basically this shape. So if you don't have a guitar at home, what you can do is just do some do a random mark some random points like this, which gives you the shape like this, and then join them points with the spline. So once you have this sketch, you can extrude it to this length. Here I have extruded it to 95 millimeters. This is actually the exact length that is in the guitar. I've measured it. And then what you can do is, all right. So then what I've done is, inside the guitar is it's hollow, right? It's a passage for air. So I've created a shell from the shell feature that is available in the features tab, and then I've added the shell of 3 millimeters, and then this is what you get. And then finally, since we need the top plate as well, I've again used that sketch, the sketch that we used to draw the curves, and also I have added the center hole, which you can see here. And then I've extruded this as well to the same thickness of the shell, so that you get the top plate as well. So if you see a cross section, see here, like this. So I hope you got I hope you got the steps that is needed to model the main box area of the guitar. So after that, I'm not going to save it. After that, you can model, let's say, the bridge piece. So this is a bridge piece which is this small white color thing you can see here. So that's pretty easy to model it. So that's basically a rectangular extrude. So here you can see 80 millimeters into 1 point, or rather 1 millimeter. So that's easy. So we'll close this. Then the bridge. So this is the bridge. As you can see, it's the component that you can see here, this wooden piece and all of this. So it's pretty hard for you guys to get the measurements if you don't have a guitar at home. So I'll explain what I have done. So initially I've extruded a rectangular portion like this. Let me suppress everything. So you can see I've extruded a rectangular portion that represents this wooden part here. And then if you look at the from behind of the guitar, you can see that the bridge is not exactly a rectangular, but there's a small curve on the top surface. So I've added that curve here and then used a cut extrude to cut that. So you get the curvature on the top surface. And then for this part, I've just here it has like two bridge pieces that we initially made, but I've here extruded this a rectangular portion here, and then so yeah, that's basically. So I think I made a mistake here. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I've extruded it both sides. Yeah, so that's to make the cut feature. So there's a small curvature like thing here. You won't see it here. In fact, in real, you can see it here. So after these two were extruded, I have here used a shape like this. So I've measured the curve here and then have drawn a curve like this, and then used a cut extrude to cut this. You guys might be guessing what this part is. This is actually the two white color parts here and the wooden part joined, but you can't see here in the front view. So yeah, that's something to look into. So yeah, so this is also pretty much easy. Initially the larger rectangular piece, and then I've created a small curve to get the curvature, extruded this rectangle and another rectangle here, and then used a curve to cut the curvature here. So that's the bridge. And then you can model the fretboard. The fretboard is this part where you get the frets and the small things. So here the complex part is this this curvature here and this and up to this. So All right, so for the fretboard, I have only modeled the top part. I mean, where the strings touch the fretboard. So the top wooden part here, you can see a small thickness here. So that's pretty easy. This shape and this shape. Initially got the dimensions. It's kind of a tapered section. So you draw the top view and then you extrude it this way. And if you look at a guitar, then you will see you have this white color. So white color strips. These are actually made of some kind of a metal. So I didn't exactly model the exact number of frets since it's quite tedious. Like I've only modeled several. So I've drawn a sketch like this, small curve, like a semicircle, and then extruded it, and then used a linear pattern to add several variations of the geometry into the fretboard. So also you can see something like this here. That's where the end of the fretboard is. So I've created the square or rather rectangular cross section and extruded it. So that's pretty much the fretboard. Then you can model, let me see. You can model the head of the guitar. So this is what I mentioned you earlier, you guys, the curve here and the curves here. It's quite complex. So without proper dimensions, it's pretty hard to model this. So here you can see it's a curvature here, curved here. Yeah, so to start with, I have used a loft feature. So pretty much like I have drawn the two semicircles that are on the edge, on the left hand corner and the right hand corner here and here. I've drawn those semicircles and then applied or rather lofted it using the loft feature. Here you can see loft is basically to extrude something if you have two profiles and a guided curve. So from the loft feature, you can get this very easily. And then again, I have used the loft feature here. Here, since we have curved part on the top as well, so we need three profiles. You can see this is the end, and this is the middle profile, and this is the end profile. So again, we use the loft feature, but in this case, we have three profiles. So the software will automatically loft the feature like this. So it's pretty easy if you have the dimensions of the curves. And then this head part of the guitar is not parallel to this portion. You can see a small angle here. So for that, I have created a plane, or rather I've drawn the sketch in this right plane. So I've drawn a sketch like this. With correct dimensions, and then extruded it to this full length. Let me suppress this one. Now you can see it's a rectangle extruded like this. And then you can measure these features and do a cut extrude. So if I unsuppress this, you can see I've created a curve like this and cutted. I've cut the outer region. So the full rectangle is now like this. And again, I've created this section. Let me show. Yeah, this is the sketch that I made. The tapered kind of thing here, two curves, and then extrude cut. So you'll get something like this. Then fillets. These stuff you pretty much easy stuff. Yeah, fillets on the edges. Another fillet on the bottom sides. Then another cut extrude. This is to cut the two holes here. These are pretty much easy operations like measure the holes, then do the sketch on the top or the surface here, and then cut extrude. And then I've extruded profiles like this onto the head of the guitar. That's pretty much done by drawing 3 circles in the right plane, and then or right plane, not in the right plane. On this, you can draw it in the center plane of this part or on this surface, and then you can use this sketch plane or offset features to extrude it wherever you want. So yeah, that's it. So that's pretty much easy. Tool of features, extrudes and cuts. So that's how you model the head of the guitar. And so now you have all the components. You have the box, bridge piece, the small rectangular kind of thing, the fretboard, and the head. So in the assembly, I initially imported the box and then added the bridge here. This, of course, is the mate is just a placement. You have to measure the distance of the bridge from this vertex to here, and then you can place it there. So the bridge piece goes inside the bridge from here. So this cut also you have to make it on the bridge, and then that's pretty much a coincident mate there. The fretboard and the head. So the fretboard also, as I mentioned you, it's just a mate with a coincident mate on this surface and the bottom surface of the fretboard, and then place it right at the sound hole. And then once you import the head, you can place it under the fretboard and do a coincident mate on these two surfaces, and that's it. So if you want to mate the or rather model the strings, you have to just extrude some circular profiles to the length of the tuning peg here and to the bridge, and then you can just mate them easily. So I've not done that here. So, and then for the I mean the colors or the textures, you can use appearances here, and then you have different appearances like wood and all. So you can apply whatever you want. If I show you go to organic and wood, you have different woods, mahogany. Then you can drag and drop this into whatever components. And so yeah, this is basically how you model a guitar. Easy steps, but the hard part is getting the dimensions because like we don't have the dimensions. I've used some measuring instruments to get the dimensions and approximately model the curves. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know.